Hello everyone, welcome to the Teacher's Time Off with Adora. Hello everyone, welcome to the Teacher's Time Off with Adora. Welcome to another week. My name is Adora Igunma and I am your host on the Teacher's Time Off with Adora. Welcome to another fresh episode here. I'm super excited. Welcome and welcome again. Now, if this is your first time of stumbling across my pages, the first time of you watching, I want to say welcome. I'm super excited that you are here. I'm very excited. Welcome. I'm cheering for you. I'm welcoming you. I'm saying hi. I'm saying hello, bonjour, and that's ekaro or ekaso, or whatever time you are watching this video in. I want to say welcome. Now, if you have not subscribed, I want you to take time out to do that right now. So just click on the subscribe button down below. Ensure that you click till you see the parenthesis around the bell button. Ensure that you click that as well. Now, what this will help you do is to ensure that you know when I go live or when I upload new videos. So ensure you do that. Don't just subscribe, but also click on the bell button. Now, if you are a returning subscriber, I love you. Welcome again. You guys are the bomb. Welcome. I see your comments, I see your shares, every single thing. I am so excited that you are on here. I am ecstatic that you are here. All right, so well done. Don't forget, at the end of this video, you share the video, you like, you comment, you tell people to subscribe to the channel. Yes, now we have over 160 subscriptions. That is amazing. I'm looking at 200 before the end of the year, hopefully. Yeah, it's possible. I almost said something, but it's possible. So I count on you guys to help out with doing that. Let's get 40 more people to subscribe to this channel. These resources are great. I've got great feedback. I've got great feedback from people who have told me that the videos have helped, and they are using some of the lessons and the tips that I share in my videos. So ensure that you do that as well. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so today I have something really nice to talk about. Like, I don't even know how I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so in 2020, I wrote a book. Yes, I have a book to my name. All right, and I don't talk about it a lot because imposter syndrome happens, and then you're like, did I do great? Was the book okay? But now looking back, I'm like, the book made sense, but I think I'm going to have a sequel to the book. But let this video be my first sequel to writing the book. Now, the name of the book is I Wish My Teacher Knew ... So I gave a survey to people to write or tell me what they would have loved to tell their teacher back then. Now, there's something that I tell teachers a lot, looking at authenticity. Something about authenticity is the fact that you get to build great relationships with your students, and you get to understand them a lot, and things that they would not tell even their parents. Sometimes you find children telling you those things, or your children telling you those things, and that's what authenticity does. Because when you're yourself, you're just playing before your students. You tell them the truth at all times. And so some of the things that are in the book, I Wish My Teacher Knew, are things that students, or who are now adults, who are no longer maybe students again, would have loved to tell their teachers or lecturers back then, maybe in elementary, primary school, high school, secondary school, or the university. So I'm going to be reading some parts of this book, and I'm going to see if I can reel out tips for teachers on how they could have done better. I'm just using this as a very generic response. For example, let's say a student says, I wish my teacher knew that I was dyslexic. So how do you begin to know if your child has a disability or a learning disability? How do you know that? So I'm just going to, for every I wish my teacher knew, I'm just going to take 10 of those things. So for every I wish my teacher knew this, I'm going to see if I can provide, you know, a response in terms of now my teacher knows that, you know, if this happens then they should do this, something in that line of some sort. But let's read the book. Let's see how I did in 2020 compared to now. And I think it's really good. I haven't opened the book in a while. You know, sometimes when you write a book, you're just like you know, you just cringe sometimes, because not because it was bad, but because I wasn't, you know, sure at the time. Like I was like, who am I to write a book for teachers? You know, I was just, you know, just imposter syndrome, one of these things that happens in life. But let's see what the book, let's see what it's about. Let's start from the beginning. I'll give you like the preface and then go into the first part of the book. All right, so I'm going to be reading from my laptop. My laptop is down here, so when you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading from here. So I'm going to start from the preface. If you need the book, I'm going to link the book right in the comments so that you can take a look at the book yourself. All right, so the gist. Now, I didn't tag it preface. I tagged it as the gist, like the reason why I wrote the book. This part of the book is just to tell you how the book was birthed and why. Let's go. I was at an international conference at the beginning of June of 2020, and there was a task given by one of the facilitators, and it was called I Wish My Teacher Knew. It was aimed at knowing what your students needed to let you know, and then incorporating what you hear into the delivery of your curriculum and instruction, which is, so when you hear what your students say they wish you knew, you would take that lesson and then, you know, how deliver better instruction, right? I was like, this is brilliant. Our students crave badly to be heard, and this is a brilliant way to find out what they need us to know, what they need, you know, with capital letters. I decided I would try it out as well, but as an Instagram post. On the 2nd of July at about 3:30 p.m., I was trying to create a flyer for the Fresh Look Africa's Instagram page, just to ask people what they wish their teachers knew when they were in school. So we as an organization can use these responses to create targeted strategies in building a support system for our teachers. By the way, the Fresh Look Africa is my new baby. It is an NGO that I just started, and the vision is to raise whole and dynamic teachers in Africa with a focus on students and beginning teachers. That's student teachers and beginning teachers. It is time to change the look of education in Africa to a fresh one. We need more quality teachers who in turn will raise children that become assets to the continent. Brilliant. The power of vision. When I was done with the flyer, my heart started beating fast in excitement, and fam, when my heart starts beating fast, it's a good thing, yeah. The whole series just told me, this looks like a great book cover, and I just started to laugh. I'm like, this is set up. LOL. I just thanked my best friend for the inspiration, and with the excitement, created the form and started sharing. I was going to use 100 responses, but he said no, make it 200. Here I am with a compilation of over 120 honest responses from different individuals of different ages, educational backgrounds, and cultures across Nigeria who have gone through and are going through the four walls of a classroom. And, sorry, a call came in. Of a classroom and taught by a teacher who they have either praised or given an honest feedback. Now, why did I write this book? It's right here in the gist. This book is a form of evaluation, feedback, and encouragement from your students. They probably can't tell you because of reasons best known to them, or they will if you can only come down to ask, meaning only if you are authentic enough. All right, dedication. The book is dedicated to educators who will love to have an idea of what their students need them to know, those who want to become advocates for quality education, and those who are ready to give a fresh look to the education sector in Africa. Content, just enjoy the ride. I didn't put any content there. Amazing. Here we go. All right, the first one is, I wish my teacher knew the impact of words on people by Papi. So some of them remain anonymous, they just use their pet names, and you know, some of them didn't use their real names, because in the survey as well, I asked for permission to put their responses in my book, and also to ask them if they wanted their real names there or they wanted, you know, fake names to be in the book. And so some of them opted for what they wanted to opt for. And so this person said the impact of words on people. Now this is so key. For some teachers, they do not know how to speak well. So they call students names. Oh my God, you're so stupid. How could you not know these things? And because I've seen these things from some teachers, even when I was still in school as well, they don't know how to speak, their words tear down. And I want to say that for teachers, our words should build up. We should be, like I said, we are like the third most, or even the second most important people in the transformation of a child. So our words should build our students up. They should not be afraid to speak to us. Our hearts should be so open to our students, and we should try to, as much as possible, empathize with them and understand their struggle, because every child cannot learn the same way. Every child comes from a different background, just like we as well. Sometimes adults forget that they were once children, forget that they once had struggles, forget that, students come from different places and experience different things. And so our words should build our students up. We should encourage them as much as possible. Even when they're being naughty, even when they're being rude, we know how to speak to them in those times. Okay? All right. The second person said, Chi said, I hate school. She wished, I don't even know if it's she or he, wishes that their teacher knew that he or she hated school. Amazing. Now, what do we do when we see a child that hates school, a child that doesn't want to come to school? There has to be a reason why. What's that trigger, right? Why? Is it because of a subject? Is it because of friends? Some students are being bullied. Some students are being molested. We need to know. We need to be sensitive as teachers. Let your eyes be on the ground. Your eyes cannot be up as a teacher. Your eyes have to be in the eyes of your students, so that you're able to know what they are going through, because some children will never say a word. You have to notice the signs. Some students are depressed. You have to know what your children are going through. You need to be very sensitive. When you say that a child doesn't hate school, the child just wants to go home, or sometimes the child doesn't even want to be anywhere, just want to be on their own, you need to be very sensitive. And in those times, you take quick action. A child should not hate school. Sometimes, is it the way you are teaching? Ensure you have feedback. Ensure you have feedback, teachers, on your instruction, on your curriculum content, everything. Have feedback. You try to get as much feedback as much as possible to ensure that you are not harming your students, right? I don't want to speak too much on that, so that I want this video to be fast. I just want to roll through. All right. Next person, Nanu, says, understood emotional intelligence. They wish their teacher knew or understood emotional intelligence. It's so important. I don't know why this person said this. Emotional intelligence is a skill for every teacher. You need to know how to manage your emotions. Stop shouting. I'm going to make a video on that very soon, to ask, why are you shouting? I used to shout and lose my voice when I taught in elementary school. I didn't know what to do. I was horrible at classroom management, and so I would shout like, what is your problem? What are you doing? And then on Sunday I go to church, I can't sing anymore. At some point I was so frustrated, I could not sing. I'm a soprano singer, and I had to move to alto because I could not sing properly because I was shouting. Shouting doesn't help, right? We need to learn how to manage our emotions. We need to learn how to manage our classrooms. We need to learn how not to get triggered by children. We need to know our triggers. We need to know what triggers us. It's very, very important, so that we can avoid it and know how to manage our emotions. Audie says that I don't really like school. I've already spoken to that. Not to compare students, not to publicly proclaim his or her favorite students, and violence is not the way, from Casey. Yeah, not to compare your students. I've said something very similar. You don't compare your students. Why would you compare students to students? Every student is unique. Every student is different. And as teachers, we need to understand that. That's why we have UD, or Universal Design Learning Principles, that will guide us to create instructions and curriculum for our students that are, that will help them to learn in the best way possible. And that is very universal in terms that it takes into consideration, or our instruction or assessment takes into consideration how our students learn, or what best ways we can, employ for our students to learn properly. So don't compare your students. Why would you compare your students? Do you think that the person that got 5/5 is better than the person that got 4/5? No. Some things that a child that got 4/5 knows will not be the same thing that the child that got 5/5 knows, right? So you need to never compare your students. Don't proclaim. Why would you say you have a favorite student? In your heart, you can have a favorite student, but don't say it out. Yeah, violence is never the way. Why are you being violent? Learn how to manage your emotions. Okay, that you don't hit children with so much violence or compare one student to another because of perceived superiority. I just spoke to that. The fact that you're a teacher does not mean that you are in terms, you don't have to be the authoritarian or the authority. is it authoritarian or authoritative one, right? Yeah, you can be an authoritarian, meaning that you discipline with instruction, meaning that you discipline and tell them this is what you did and this is why you are getting punished, or this is why you are facing consequences. An authoritative person does not explain why. They just beat, they hit, they punish, they make children face consequences without any reason. So yeah. All right, from Tommy, that more of class engagement and creative practicals that will help make learning more enjoyable. This cannot be overemphasized, right? Classroom engagement is key. You need to engage your students. Look for strategies. Think of strategies. I mean, there are so many. There are so many resources out there to on ways you can engage your students, on having creative practicals or creative activities that will help your students remain engaged. The next one is making mistakes in class is also a form of learning. Anonymous. Yes, mistakes or failing is part of the learning curve. That is why formative assessment is so key. It's in that process of formative assessment that your students learn. Is in that part of failing that okay, these are the learning gaps. This is what this child knows, this is what this child does not know. This is how this child can become better, and this is this is where this child is at right now, and this is these are the things that I need to do to ensure that the child moves further. All right. This other person says my personality type. It's so important. But another thing is some teachers don't even know their personality types. So they can't even know their students' personality type, which is sad. So you need to know who you are to be able to know who your students are. I've spoken on teaching as you, and you can come into TSTA. We look at that in more details, and I'll look at one more before we wrap up today. All right, I have one from Shalzi. She says that I appreciated her style of teaching. Finally, we have an appreciation. Her style of teaching me in primary school. I long to tell her she was the best thing that happened to me in character building. So good. This is an appraisal. We can see that this because I know her. This is one of my big sisters. This is when I say so, she has finished university, she's way older, and she's remembering someone that taught her in primary school. So we need to know that the impact of all that we do will follow a child till they become adults, and it's either you're making them or you're scarring them. Okay, you need to ensure that you're doing the best for your children in every area. She said character building, so it's not even in the academics, right? We're looking at character. We looked at character last week. So we want to ensure we have that. So let me just add some more, just two more, and end up on page 10. They inspired me to always be better. Amazing. This is another one, inspiring your children to become better. It is your job as a teacher to ensure you inspire your children to do better, to be better, to act better, respect, and all of those things. Character building, emotional intelligence. It's your job as a teacher to help your students do that, right? It's not just about academics. Ensure that you look at the other areas of your students. Students that are lagging in character, help them. Students that are lagging in emotional intelligence, help them, right? Just help them. Last one is, she says, I don't know if it's she, but I know Loako says that how to encourage students. Like I said, it's our job to be on the side of our students. We need to encourage them. We need to motivate them. As a teacher, your duty is not just one thing. So you are a mentor, you are a motivational speaker, you are a teacher, you are an instructor, you are an MC, you are, for some, they even take up the role of being a guardian to some students, right? So especially when you see that the students don't have a good home front, you take up that role as a guardian to help guard and guide your students. Okay, all right, so this brings me to the end of this. I'll leave the book for you in the description box. You can take it up, come back, tell me something that you read that really touched you, and make a comment on it, like how I just did right now. Make a comment, let me know what you think. Would you want a sequel to the book? Would you want us to take some time to actually have like a series on it, to just cover the whole book and look for tips and strategies on how we can help teachers do better, so that children can have more good reports about their teachers than actually a wrong reports. All right, so we've come to the end of today's video. I'm gonna see you next week Tuesday, and I'm sure I'm gonna have some amazing news for you then. If you have not registered for the Fresh Look Africa Summit 2023, ensure you do that right now. Click the link in the description box to register. Share with other teachers. We want over 2,000 teachers registered. We want a lot of teachers to be on board all over Africa, all over the world, to be a part of this, right? We want to see you there. We want to see your colleagues there, your friends, your enemies, your neighbors, everybody, your head of school, your principal. We want to see every single person there. So ensure you share the link with other teachers, and also do not forget to share this video, share the book as well to other teachers. Let them see some of the things that students have to say about some teachers' practices, and also words of encouragement to teachers as well, because some of these words will encourage you to do better at what you are already doing. Okay, so before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ensure you subscribe, share with other teachers, and share with other people in the education space, or people that want to come into the education space. Bring them in, track them with my YouTube channel. Choke them with the videos. Okay, and just subscribe right now. Just subscribe and ensure you do that. I will see you next week Tuesday. Stay blessed. I love you. Bye.